On June 1st, the UFC returns to Newark, New Jersey for a pay-per-view event headlined by the current pound-for-pound #1 fighter on the planet, Islam Makhachev, one of the most well-rounded and dominant forces in the game.
Do you feel like it's undeniable you are the #1 fighter in the world?
People know who is a #1 fighter in the world right now.
Who aims to add another scalp of elite competition to his 13-fight win streak, as he takes on the legend and future Hall of Famer, Dustin the Diamond Poirier, a brute force and bona fide star who's been a mainstay at the top of the promotion for over a decade.
I've fought the who's who in mixed martial arts, champion after champion, top contender after top contender. I've proven to myself that I belong with the best in the world, and I'll be here as long as I want to be.
Makhachev looks to defend his title for the 3rd time and fight against a proper lightweight contender, while Poirier aims to capitalize on what will more than likely be his last chance at undisputed gold.
Islam said Dustin does not deserve it, but who else is there? There's not a lot of options. He's the biggest name. Bring him on.
And in the co-main event, former middleweight champion Sean Strickland returns against the eraser, Paulo Costa. A 5-round fireworks show set to produce a key player in the middleweight title picture.
I'm gonna make that dirty Brazilian bleed. Brazil, this one's for you guys.
So the confrontation with Strickland, when he brings it, we can expect you to sit there and just bang.
Oh yes, yeah, you can expect fireworks.
These are 2 crucial fights that will undoubtedly deliver on the excitement. But before the UFC returns to the Prudential Center for another historic night, get ready for an inside look into UFC 302. With the middleweight title likely on the line at UFC 305 between new champ Dricus du Plessis and Israel Adesanya, plus the #1 contender fight between Robert Whittaker and Khamzat Chimaev on June 22nd, former champ Sean Strickland found himself in an interesting position. After coming off a 5-round war and split decision loss of his title in January, Strickland was adamant about getting his rematch. However, the promotion had different plans and offered him a 5-round co-main event spot against Paulo Costa at UFC 302.
You know, he said, hey, I'm a prize fighter. I got to talk with the UFC. And then he's like, okay. I told the UFC I want to make money that they can support my family for the rest of my life. And he said, and that's been taken care of now. So go ahead, Paulo, let's go.
And although a lot of fans wanted to see that rematch with him and du Plessis, this matchup with Paulo Costa is a fun one. Not only the fight itself, but also for what it adds to a pay-per-view card.
Sean Strickland, Paulo Costa, the perfect support act, 5-round co-main event. This makes a fight week. This makes an embedded series. This makes a press conference. This is what you need on a card.
These are 2 entertainers in and out of the cage. 2 brash, unfiltered, tough, pressure-forward fighters who love to fight.
It's a very interesting matchup considering the way that Sean rolls damage, considering the way Paulo comes forward. Obviously, we saw a different Paulo than against the guy that Izzy fought. He had too much speed for Paulo back then, and he touched him and got out. He hit the calves. We're not going to see that style from Sean Strickland.
Sean Strickland is more composed in his strikes and smooth in defense, but Costa packs a punch that's hard to match. And although Costa lost to Robert Whittaker after an 18-month layoff, he put on a solid performance against one of the division's best.
Lost the fight, but made Robert Whittaker work for him. Almost knocked him out with that spinning wheel kick at the end of round 1. Sean Strickland, he's got very good boxing. His style is behind the jab. Paulo Costa is going to come forward a lot. I think Paulo Costa hits harder, but I think Sean has an advantage with the cardio.
I need to hurt him. I'm not the kind of guy who think too much about scoring. I like the fight, I like the confrontation, I like the boys on the ground.
I like Costa. He's a funny guy. He makes me laugh. He's pro-free speech. But Brazil doesn't even like Costa. So, hey, Brazil, this one's for you guys. Let's get it done.
The action that will be on display in this explosive stylistic clash is perfect for this event. and the winner of this pivotal 5-round co-main event on June 1st will position themselves for another major bout next. There is no denying the UFC's lightweight division boasts an insane level of talent. In fact, most would say it's the most talent-stacked division in the entire sport. And Islam Makhachev not only reigns as the undisputed king of this highly regarded division, but he is also listed as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter on the planet.
This idea that Makhachev is some guy who keeps just skating by, who's not proving his worth, it's fucking time to retire that. I do admit that his run to the title was not as strenuous as it should have been, but look at what has happened since that time. He is clearly still getting better everywhere, and he's not just extremely good because he can wrestle and put submissions together and can pin and has the Dagestani handcuffs and all that stuff. He's got those. Look at what he's got on the feet too. This is like the peak of his powers.
He's easily one of the most dangerous fighters we've seen. And now that he is ready to return and defend his throne once again, the next best available contender for him to fight is the one and only Dustin Poirier.
He's taken out champions. Gaethje was a champion, took out Eddie, champion, Max, champion, Anthony Pettis. It's just champion after champion.
He also rises to the occasion.
That's why his nickname's the Diamond.
Though he wasn't the first option for the promotion, we know that timing is everything in this game.
Hunter started texting me Saturday of 300. I mean, as soon as Arman beat Charles, he called me and said, hey, I'm walking back there right now. I'll let you know soon. You might be up next. I'm like, oh shit, you know, like heart's pumping. Things just worked out the way they worked out for me to go out there and fight for the world title again in New Jersey, Brick City, on Lafayette Street. I'm gonna be the world champion.
He's had his ups and downs, but with his legendary resume and warrior mindset, most recently shown in taking a huge risk in fighting the young killer Benoit Saint-Denis, he's once again found himself in position to finally achieve the one thing left on his mind. But it's no secret that this is a tough matchup for Dustin. Islam's sheer strength and pressure on the ground is extremely difficult for anyone to deal with, and not to mention his striking is constantly improving.
It would seem as though taking him down and grinding him out is the easier path. But are you falling in love with the knockout after what you did to Alexander Volkanovski? Do you think you can knock out Dustin Poirier?
Every time when he fights for the champion, somebody choke him. Now I have to prepare something special, and we did in the gym. I have something special for next fight.
But we know he isn't completely invincible. Dustin's elite boxing has proven to be a huge problem time and time again. And if Islam engages with him on the feet, he can definitely find openings to capitalize on.
I understand the threat in front of me June 1st. The pound-for-pound #1 guy. Khabib's pupil, but I'm that guy to do it. I'm gonna put my hands on this guy. I'm coming in there to hurt him. I can finish and beat anybody at 155 pounds in the world. I really believe that. And he doesn't have to believe it. I'm the one who has to believe it. I'm the one who has to go out there and beat his ass.
If you look back at his fight with Khabib, he had some moments on the feet and got him in a tight guillotine, but he ultimately got choked out, and against Charles Oliveira as well. So you've got to think, if Islam plays to his strengths and Poirier's weaknesses, he can also get him out of there. But this is why MMA is the greatest sport on earth. Anything can happen at any moment. And at this level, any mistake made by either man will be their downfall.
Dustin doesn't have the greatest takedown defense. He's got that hair trigger guillotine. For his sake, he should avoid all grappling and just force a striking match with Islam. And even there, he's going to have some issues with the striking because the constant takedown threat is going to open up many different striking opportunities for Islam.
No matter the outcome, history will indeed be made once again at UFC 302.
I always root for those guys who've been around forever and they fight the best of the best. They might lose one or two here, but they've been around for so long. You just hope there's a title at the end of their career.
It's a big name, man. I want to beat him. Some people think I'm underestimating, but this guy is so tough. But he have a problem with people who have good wrestling, and it's gonna be good when I beat Poirier.